I was diagnosed with leukemia in December, and it was quite a big shock to find out it was leukemia, which I knew very little about. When things sunk in a little bit, at least it all made sense. There were times where I cycled to uni and I was just finding the cycle a lot more difficult than usual. And I was just thinking, oh God, I'm so unfit at the moment. But it was actually because of the leukemia. But then the doctors later told me that I would need a stem cell transplant. And then that's when my family thought about the difficulties of me possibly finding a donor if my brother wasn't a match. And then after some waiting, we found that he wasn't. And that's when they decided to launch an appeal.
When you find out that your daughter has such a serious disease, it's a real shock. You never expect to have to look after your children.
Charities such as Anthony Nolan and Delete Blood Cancer hosted various events across the UK to increase the patient donor register. One was held at the Jewish Museum in London.
What's interesting about the Lara story is that you need to find a genetic match, and it's much more likely if they come from the same ethnic group.
One of the biggest things that's come out of this campaign is learning about how underrepresented ethnic minorities and mixed race people are on the registry.
In 2015, the Greater London Authority reported London to have a population of 44% from mixed ethnic backgrounds. According to Delete Blood Cancer and Anthony Nolan Charities, every 20 minutes someone in the UK finds out that they have a blood cancer. But on the Anthony Nolan register, only 0.5% from East Asian backgrounds and 1.5% from European backgrounds are on their registry, making it very difficult for patients with a rare background to find the perfect match.
People can register online for a cheek swab kit to be sent out to their address, or people can register via one of our events which go on around the country. The challenge of spreading awareness of this issue was really the message we wanted to send.
You need help from community leaders to kind of get those messages across to the rest of the community and make them understand that this is a really important thing to do.
I certainly think the responsibility lies with education. Realistically, throughout my whole school life, I never heard or was asked to donate at all.
During the filming of this feature, I managed to find a match. I don't know anything about my donor. They have to stay anonymous for 2 years, and they don't know anything about me either. And we're allowed to correspond through a third party, be through Anthony Nolan, and then after 2 years we can meet. The campaign isn't going to just stop now. Since the beginning, it's always been about diversifying the donor registry and expanding the donor registry and raising awareness about it. I hope that more and more people will sign up, and it will just become easier for people to find their match, and they don't have to hopefully one day have this anxious long wait to find out whether they will have a match or not, and that everyone can find a match and it'll just be a certainty.